What's good, everybody? I appreciate you all. Sorry I'm getting on here so late. Still earlier than I was the night before. Oh, I'm just medicating a little bit. We'll lock into some Fortnite. Oh man, I've had an exhausting day. I short story long, I use this application called Clips to get all the clips that I do. This way it's easier than having to sit back and uh filter through everything myself type deal. And for a lot of people, it's not working. And this is, I'm just venting to you guys. You can either listen or not. So they're one of the few moderation pages or things where like their administrative help or whatever is on Discord. Like that's the fastest way to get an answer is Discord. And don't get me wrong, Discord is okay. Like I like it as a communication tool. For me though, I think that Discord tries to be too much like the old instant messaging applications back in the day, and I probably just aged myself with a lot of y'all. The younger crowd's probably like, what the fuck is an instant messaging app? So back in the day, kids, we had cell phones, but texting was too expensive. So if you had internet, you'd instant message your friends. The cool thing about instant messaging is if you were playing games on your PC or whatever, uh, you could share your statuses. So, you could be like, "Oh, I'm playing Diablo," or if you were listening to music and you gave it the permission to, it could pull your library, much like Discord does. The only difference is you have to do it from the apps. Anyway, I joined this uh, Discord group. Within like hour, I'm receiving like 12, 14 friends requests. And I'm like, man, this is sus as shit. And the lesson is, guys, if your stomach says it's sus, just go with that it's sus. Um, but I met a lot of people that their cut and paste was immediately like, nice to meet you. I'm here, blah, 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 to try and, establish more people. And I'm just like, man, what an open approach. You know, I don't see that approach. So, and don't get me wrong, I know creator networks are important. I understand that there's usually some other person or moderators that help boost a lot of these content creators. I know most of them don't work alone. I get that. I'm not blind. But when I get 12 friend requests and out of the 12, 8 all message me literally the exact same thing, and then like don't take this personally. Like if you do this as a job, like it's not personal. Like I'm just speaking from somebody that I'm a dad, okay? Like I'm tapped out as far as money goes. I'm doing this as a extra revenue. Do I think I'm going to become rich off of it? No. Do I think I'm going to be the next Moist Critical? I wish. Like I wish I could vent about my problems on a webcam or, just share my own takes and that just be a hit. Moist is one of the few people like I say that and I probably could, but I just I don't know. That's not me. Like I like playing video games, and the way I look at it is everybody, does this. Very few people actually try and, make a living out of it. It's something that I'm doing anyway, so it's like I might as well do it. I've got little to lose off of it because I'm already investing time into it. The only difference is I'm investing time with other people. So if people choose to hang out and watch the stream, awesome. If you choose to not, cool. If you decide to comment on the stuff later and share it, cool. Like to me, it's not one of those things where I'm hard up for attention. Like I I don't care. Like I'm probably one of the more boring streamers. I'm not like what's his face, Dark Side Phil, where I'm gonna beg you for cash and blow every opportunity. Like I'm just here for a good time type deal. So it's like, don't take this personally. But when I receive like 10 messages all leading the same thing, and then out of the one that I talk to, everything is all cut and paste chat GPT. And that's the thing about AI, y'all, is if you're just giving standard responses and blah, 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 AI is going to be very cut and paste dry. I work with AI behind the scenes. I'm trying to establish something for myself with this AI stuff because like it or not, it's coming. So if I have some type of anything in it, I'm already step ahead than most of the other people would be. Because if you think about it, if your job can be replaced by AI, what do? You learn how to run the AI, essentially. You learn the behaviors of AI. AI is no different than an animal type deal. The only difference is it learns at a faster rate because of all the information that we throw at it. But if we tailor it, it becomes something completely entirely and unique for some people. Anyway, short story long. Um, I told them what I wanted was to build a community and to see my channels grow. And the answer that I got was like if I would have punched it into Chat GPT and asked it the same thing. So this is the thing. I Chat GPT is my kind of go-to. I know there are other platforms out there. I work with Galaxy AI, which gives me an access to a lot more of these. But on host websites, they don't retain a model that remembers who you are. Like with Gronk, ChatGPT, um, trying to think of a couple others. I'm feeling really bad because there's four primaries. Gemini and shit, one other one. Anyway, regardless, those models, regardless of what they tell you, are basics. So if it says that it's 5.5, 4.5, or whatever, the chances are is it's usually in the first or second release of that. When the version that you download directly, even if it's a free version, is going to be the more concurrent version. Now, this is from the horse's mouth. Like that's the beauty also of AI is like you can believe that it's going to not tell you the truth, but for the most part, it is. It's going to tell you everything flat out. It, AI doesn't have a reason to lie. Like, and a lot of people like it has to have a feelings, personality. Like there are people that do moderate this stuff. Like they have to, or else you'd have a lot more deep fakes, a lot more chaos out in the world. But the answer that I got was so chat GPT copy and paste that when I pasted it into chat GPT roasted the hell out of it. And that's because my AI is trained a little differently. and I'm not saying that, go out, train AI, do whatever. I'm just saying that when you do this, it's able to detect the basic fuckery. Next to the fact that all these people that were adding me, once they gave me their connections and everything, and again, I'm not shitting on your connections, but it's the same circle of people. I ain't out here trying to give my credit card information to somebody that's going to milk me dry. Like, and I know that's exactly what it is because a lot of these profiles and all that, they haven't been established very long. And I don't care who you are. The proven factor is if you stay consistent and concurrent on everything, you're going to see better results. Like 2 months ago, I was steady on all these streams, streaming appropriately, time slot, the whole nine. And then, life happened with the holidays and everything, and I stopped, and I saw the falter in that. I also didn't communicate and all that other stuff, but that's because I'm also trying to figure all this stuff out by myself before I just involve a team. You know, I do have plans to grow in the future, and I know it's going to probably, be a small team. And when I offshore that, I'll get there. But when people go around insulting my intelligence, like I can't look at mutual friends on Discord, or I can't see when your Discord's been established, or the fact that you don't edit your Discord at all. Like out of the 12 people that I talked to, only three people had legitimate postings, if you would. And it's just one of those things like, if you guys are legit out there, that's cool, but work it a different way. Because there are people like me that are suspicious of anything and everything, especially when it comes to the internet. And when y'all tell me about the possibilities of this, and this, like, I know what's possible and what's not, like, and the probabilities of it. It's just one of those things of, if I hire somebody else to do it, I gotta pay out of pocket for that. You know, that's why I have the AI tools, is to lean off of that. Like, yeah, I realize I could work with people, but people 9 times out of 10 have their own self interests at hand. So when I pay, like give you an example, my logo, I shopped around with a couple of my quote unquote homies because I'm also a hip hop artist in the community. Y'all charge me 30 to $50 and a 2 week turnaround type deal. The best that I got was like a 7 to 10 day turnaround, which, that's fine. I get it. You got other clients. My shit's bottom of the barrel compared to like an actual hip hop artist. But out of those people that I thought were my homies, a lot of them sent me AI generated bullshit, which just insulted my intelligence. You know, so it's like, bro, I could pay a yearly subscription to this shit and make as much as I want, type deal. Like, and all I have to do is just say, hey, I want it based off of more of this, upload it, upload the abstracts, and boom, it's there. Like, y'all should be very, very afraid. Like, career wise, if you care about your career, uh, I suggest, putting your heart back into it, whatever. But like, yeah, no. Like, from now on, I I'm not approving any weird ass fucking friendships on Discord. Like, I thought that was weird. And I'm new to to Discord on that front. You know, a couple of my good friends use it, for their stuff, and I have it to keep in contact with them, and to, they've got their chat room so I could, bust in like the Kool-Aid man and be like, "Hey, motherfucker," you know. But it's just, I'm not that big to where it's just like, "Oh yeah, come hang out on my server" type bullshit. And even if I were to become that big, that requires more moderators, fine tuning, et cetera, et cetera. It's just one of those things where it's just like, and there's always going to be volunteers that'll do it. Some that'll do it a little of a labor of love, some that'll do it to futurely backstab you type thing. And I ain't really about all that. Like, if it makes sense for me to do a Discord server in the future, shit, I'll do it. But I just thought that was the funkiest shit ever. And I'm not even, I'm too busy telling my story. I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But y'all, that fucked with me heavy, because a lot of these guys hit me up saying, "Oh yeah, I want to build with you and I want to grow with you," and that was fucking false. And like, I even went through and uh added their pages, so like later on, I do plan on whispering to them or whatever and being like, "Hey, do you remember me from Discord, blah blah blah," just to kind of see, like if it was legit. Just because, like I said, this was all so cut and paste. And normally, normally I don't bother with it. Normally I don't care. But to me, this time it was just one of those things where it was weird. And again, if any of you guys are watching this stream, and you're saying, "Oh man, that wasn't my intention," then I would have to say, do better. You know, especially considering that y'all are in the same friend group. Like that was another thing that got me is, and I mean, it could really be that way, but it was how should I put it? I find it weird that the 12 people that added me, the connections that they had to their multimedia agents were all three mutual friends. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things where it's just like, right, I feel like you were looking for my credit card, you know. I honestly feel that way. you know, I'm sorry that I'm dwindling on this, but I feel if any of these if there's any new streamers out there that watch or that are watching this and listening to this, take that advice seriously, because a lot of the people that watch me, they're not, from what I've noticed, you're not that much bigger than me. And I do appreciate everybody that tunes in. But, I do want to get that message out. If you do use any type of AI tools that require you to go to Discord for whatever reason, or, you know, take you to Telegram or wherever, like, and for me, that should be a red flag anyway, uh, that isn't the case. You know what I mean? Like, it already was. You know, the last time I reached out to somebody, I did it through email, but the problem with the email is it took twice as long, and I was a little upset anyway because when I sent a ticket in, it wasn't until I messaged them, I think like 3 hours ago, that they messaged me back. So it was like, fuck, I didn't even need to join this Discord. Like I could have just emailed and probably got the same results. Um, so yeah, you know, if anybody, takes that to account, cool. But I ain't trying to be that guy either that's like saying, "Oh yeah, don't trust these guys," but bro, it was just sus, Uh a lot of the people that I hit up, the links that they used were legitimate channels. At least I think 8 out of the 12 were. Two didn't really have much set up, and one had a lot of followers, but it didn't have a banner. It didn't have like anything for subscriptions, and the last time they streamed was like 7 months ago. So, like for all I know, these accounts could be hacked, and then people are taking advantage of that. And this might be a problem that all of you know about, but I wasn't aware of, you know. So just kind of keep that in mind, everybody. I ain't trying to be like, oh yeah, don't trust any of these motherfuckers. But at the same time, I just find it was weird that 12 profiles hit me up. 13 actually did, but I didn't approve the last person because I was just like, whatever. Out of those 12 profiles, only 8 had links back to their Twitches and everything. And then the 8 that did have back to their Twitches, like one of them I was talking to as they were live, and I wasn't paying attention, but like I put a comment in there live, and like you figure if you were talking to someone off of Discord, you'd be like, oh, yo, hey, what's up? Cool to see you come in from Discord, so they didn't mention that. But like at the same time, too, like, I don't know. I just all of it was just weird. So if you are a content creator and you do, um, you are seeking out an agency or whatever, or people to help promote, I would just say be very, very cautious of Discord because it was just weird. It was so weird, and the I can't emphasize the chats were all very, very similar. You know. Anyway, we're gonna start up here real soon. I'm just sharing everything. I'm sorry that I'm taking forever, but I needed to vent that and get it out. Um, I am part of an agency on here, and my only beef is I've noticed that when y'all send me gifts, I get less. So like even when you send me a penny, I don't get that penny. I get like a quarter of a penny. And the person that I have the option to talk to for my market or for my creator workspace, it's all like a question mark. There's no name there anymore. So I just am getting out of that creator group. I don't plan on joining another creator group. Um, it's nothing personal. It's just again, I I don't. If I find something that makes sense, I'll do that. But I should have been like, man, the creator group was kind of too good to be true type thing. But like, even the guy that commented on one of my TikTok videos that I did, like, I'll never hear from dude. I don't hear from anybody in that group at all whatsoever. So it's like, why do it if it doesn't make sense to do it? Type deal. Hold on a second. Oh, let me God damn it. I'm gonna restart my stream. I lost TikTok here.